Excuse me. Is that your dog? Oh, okay. Oh wow. He said no, that's not his dog. He said that's not his dog. It's right in there in that grass. You think it's the other boy? But I know he got big dogs, not little dogs. It's so cute. No, the small one, the Frenchie. I mean the pug. You know, I just asked him. He said no. Why are you doing this to yourself? I want to show how appreciative I am, grateful I am. Siri, you too. Well, how God bless God have been. How blessed God have been. How great God has been. What a crazy world. What's up, guys? Making a lot of unnecessary noise. Uh, Let me see. You want to be a guest on my channel today? Huh? Huh? Why were we dancing in channel? Huh? You want to be a guest on here today? I thought you said dance. Hold on, let me. You know what? I need to go do my podcast. You need to do what? My podcast. Podcast. I need to go rent some place to do my video. Oh, Siri, set alarm clock to 3:30 p.m. Siri, hello. Siri, set a 3:30 p.m. alarm clock, please. Siri, hi, welcome. Welcome to the live. We're gonna be getting started. The question for today. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live. First of all, if you're new here, hi, my name is Catherine. Welcome to the live. On here, we talk about everyday relationship problems, issues, and the good things about relationship, the bad thing about relationship. We just discuss it in our way. We are able to look for ways to make it better. Everybody has something to work on. We are not all perfect, so there is always room for growth. So, the question for today: what are some things that you like you would like change to, or what are some things you would like for people to change when it comes to being in a relationship, or what are some things in your own personal relationship? What are some things you think that you could change when it comes to being in a relationship? So I will give you guys some of my honest opinion. At any point I love to hear you guys input, then I would stop and read a comment and stuff like that, okay? So I would say what are some things that myself I would like to change? I would say not always trying to do everything. Because I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like when I want things done, I want it done. So I end up doing it instead of giving somebody, time for them to do it. Even though they'll say, oh, I'll come to it. I just go ahead and get it done because I want it done right now. I don't just want to wait. So it's not a bad thing to be independent, but sometimes too it's okay to let your partner do it. If they say they're gonna do it, sometimes it's okay to let them do it instead of you always uh, trying to get everything done. Also, I would say though, one thing I would say for sure I would like people to change will be giving their partner some grace. I feel like, you know, nobody's perfect. there are some stuff that we are not all good at. So sometimes it's okay to just give your partner grace. I know everybody make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Yes, there are, we all have our own realistic expectation. What we're looking for in a relationship, what we are not willing to compromise, what we're going to compromise. But sometimes it's not a bad thing to give your partner grace because nobody's perfect. We all make mistake. Especially they'll say somebody, if your partner did something that you didn't like, uh, and it says sorry. Sometimes when you say okay, just let it go instead of going back to the old thing and stuff. If you choose to forgive that person, don't keep going back to the past, because I feel like the more you continue to go back to the past, it bring out all those bad emotion, like what it did to you. And we are all human. We have emotion. Sometimes we just get upset about why somebody someone who said they love her and stuff like that would they would try to make a decision that way, or they'll try to treat her that way and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes if you choose to, or you decide to forgive them, just let it go. Don't keep going back to it. All that stuff that you did to me 10 years ago and stuff. If you already say okay, don't do it again. Don't keep going back to it. Don't say if there was to do something that have nothing to do with whatever they did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or 3 years ago. Don't keep bringing it back. And with that said, I'm not saying forgive everything that they do. There are some stuff that you shouldn't have to tolerate for anybody. That's when we set our boundary, and I'll be like, this is, if you do this, I'm not going to be with you. You set your boundaries and you stick with it. If they already know stuff that you are not going to tolerate in a relationship, and they go ahead anyway and do it, um, you don't have to. You can forgive them, but you don't have to stay with them. Certain things. I would say certain things. Not all, but certain things. Me personally, if a guy was to choose to go and cheat on me, or entertain other people out there, or disrespect me, or put their hands on me, stuff like that, I'm not going to let go. I'll forgive you, but I'm not going to be with you, if that makes sense. Also, I one thing I would like for us to change will be you know at the end of the day, we want a man to be the head of the household. We want him a person, like we so sometimes it's okay, just get done some work and stuff like that. Yeah, at the end of the day, we want everything that we want for them to provide. But sometimes too, just if they talk, especially if they're making effort to provide for the household, doing everything they need to do, paying the bills and stuff like that, and you ask them for something, and it be like, oh, I'm gonna try and get it for you and stuff like that. And they actually making effort to taking care of everything else, but they may not have that particular stuff you asking for at the moment. But they agree to getting some grades. Instead of like putting them down, be like, you good or whatever, just like tearing the person apart. I think we should stop doing that. What else? And also, me personally, in all my relationship that I have been in, I haven't been in a lot of relationship, but a few that I've been, or the couple I've been in, I would say I always try to create a space that no matter what happen, me and my partner, we have a place to speak up, that you will never feel like, yeah, I might not agree with you, whatever you might be talking about, but I always try to create a space that everybody is able to speak up, no matter whatever you're going to talk about. Just express yourself without feeling like you're going to be judged. Yeah, I might not agree with what you're saying, but I feel it's okay for us to just get stuff out of our system, that you feel like you have a comfortable place with your partner, that you are able to talk about anything. Um, because at the end of the day, if you don't create if you don't create a space, a safe place for their partner to express themselves, and you just feel like they are comfortable with you, they're gonna find somebody who's gonna do it, and you may not like it. If that person is giving them all the attention that they need, because whenever they come to you, you push them back and stuff like that. At some point, they're gonna get tired with it, and sometimes it brings problem in the relationship. They'll start looking for that somewhere else. I always say, if you cannot provide anything for your partner, someone else is always willing to provide that. So, yeah, we just have to like kind of set uh, a healthy boundaries, or a healthy space, that we are able to just be ourselves, because it's that feeling when you always feel like you cannot be comfortable around your partner to tell them anything that you want to express. You just feel like they're going to shut you down, or they're going to just take you to be crazy, that you can still get a point across without being aggressive, violence, or all the above. Because I know some people express themselves different way, so we just have to create a healthy space, that we are able to do it in the right way, that you can still get a point across without tearing stuff or cursing your partner, or just or hitting on your partner and stuff like that. That's not cool. Me personally, I don't condone stuff like that. So if you ever was to act that way, that's going to be the end of you and myself. So let me see what you guys think. Comment down below some stuff that you would like people to change in relationship, or you would like to change in your own relationship. um Me personally, I would say though, like I already said, one big thing I would like to change would be, just I think I'm very, very independent to a space that I feel like I can do everything. It can be a good thing, and sometimes it could be a bad thing as well. So I think sometimes it's just okay to let your partner do some stuff as well, instead of you always trying to save the day, or just making sure that everything is always right. Sometimes. So I'm back here. So yeah, let me turn the air on here, because the other car need a jump. I haven't used it here for a minute. So alright. So we are back here. Alright, so what other stuff? I would say one thing too I would like for people to change should be uh for one thing I would like people to change. Hold on just a minute. One thing I would like people to change when it comes to being in a relationship, I would say, before you leave from here, if you was to take one thing from today's topic, hi, welcome. If you was to take one thing from today's topic, should be never compare your relationship, or never compare yourself with other people, because some relationship might look perfect from the outside, but you never know what might be going on the inside. So don't learn to always compare your relationship with other people's relationship. Always look for. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to the channel. I always say, don't compare yourself with other people's relationship, or don't compare yourself with other people, because you never know what somebody might be going through. Yeah, they might look okay. They might have everything. They might look like they have everything together from the outside, but you never know what somebody might be going through. So don't just learn to compare yourself with other people. Look for what's going to work for your relationship, what you are looking for, and work from there. And also, like, to the guys in the chat, I always say, yeah, lady might not have everything that you're looking for. They might not have it all 100%. But if you truly care about this person, help building up. Don't bring it down and go look for somebody else thinking like the grass is greener on the other side. At the end of the day, if you feel like the grass is greener on the other side, everybody have something they need to work on. Everybody has some kind of issue. So if you truly care about that person and that person is willing, you both love each other unconditionally, and the other person may not have everything 100% together, but as long they are willing to, the ones that don't have, they're willing to work on it to build up. You can work with somebody like that. What are you talking about? Can you say something like, I don't know? Oh, yeah. Well, we talking about what are some things that you like people to change when it comes to being in a relationship? Or what are some things in your own personal relationship? What are some things you think you could change? Comment down below. Um, so for example, let me just give an example for what I just said earlier. If if you ever find somebody who have almost everything you're looking for when it comes to being in a relationship, but maybe there is one or two stuff that they are not good at that you like to have in a relationship, you can actually help your partner get to where they need to be. That could be, they'll say, if your partner have gained a lot of weight and you would like your partner to just be fit, instead of tearing them down, you can actually work out with your partner, like encourage them. You'll go out, you can go for a walk, you can go to the park, you can do other exercise or get a gym membership that you'll work out. Instead of tearing them apart or putting them down, and you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna cheat on her with somebody who is skinny, but that person may not have all the qualification that you are looking for. Just because the physical aspect look okay, you go out with them. Sometimes it's not always the greater move that you can make, because as long as you can get someone who is very stable, who have most of the things that you're looking for in a relationship, um if they are not good at certain things, I think you can help them get to where you would like for them to be. Um, for example, what else? For example, maybe you would like for your partner to be all dressed up and stuff like that, to look sexy in the house, stuff like that. You would like to have, that's why I always say speak up, because not everybody can read your mind. Your partner don't always read your mind. So certain things that you like for them to do, it's just how you say it. You can so say without coming across like you controlling them. That comes to my next point. I truly would like this to change. Whenever you're in a relationship, you cannot feel like you should be in control of everything. Life doesn't work that way. There's no way you're gonna be in control of everything. Because at the end of the day, your partner is not your kid, right? They are not your kid. So you cannot feel like you're gonna control them. You have power struggle. No matter what you do, you feel like you're always right. That relationship is not gonna work. So we have to balance it out. Even if you are the heads of the household, whenever you are about to make a decision, always run it with your partner. You guys have a sit down, talk about it before going and doing it and stuff like that. Because I see a lot of men out here, they rather spend on someone else than spending money on their partner, right? So if your partner know this is what going on, do you think they're gonna Do you think they're gonna be happy about that? So if you say you love your partner, you want to be with your partner, but you cheating on them with somebody else, and you spending all your money on that person else, and you come back home and you expect your partner to be all bubbly, make sure that you good. It's not gonna work. Um they're gonna start to push back until they're gonna start to withdraw from the relationship until they're ready to exit. So don't always feel like somebody's always going to be there for you. Um, when you want them to be there, because if you are not giving the same thing, don't expect them to do what you want them to do. But life doesn't work that way. So that's why I just said, like, we can all help build each other up, and we are not all we are not competing with each other. We want this thing called relationship to work. So we cannot always feel like we're competing with our partner, you know? Yeah, we all want to win. So yeah, today you might be up in a relationship. Your partner may not have it all, but if you truly want to be with that person, you can help build it up. And everybody can win. There's more room for everybody to win. So you can't always feel like you should always be in control of everything, because there's a lot of abuse that go on in a relationship. That could be financial abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse, more and more. So um, I truly, if only we all can take a step back and before we do something to our partner, or before we make a decision, anything of that nature, take a step back, think about it. If it was, if my partner was to do to this to me, how would I feel? Before you do it, because at the end of the day, you cannot continue to treat somebody bad and you want them to always say yes to you, or always want to. Uh, Everything that you say, it should go. Life doesn't work that way. So, what else? And always remember, everything is not always going to be perfect. Relationship go through different stages. I always say this. Yeah, at the beginning of that relationship, everything might be perfect, but at some point, you guys gonna get tested a little bit through the relationship, and it's gonna determine if you're gonna be with your partner. Because if you cannot if you are not to a stage that you are able to stay strong, that relationship is not gonna work. So that's why it's always good to be with somebody. At the end of the day, when things get tough, you know if that person gonna stay or not. Because always some people are there for the different reason. So depending on whatever they're there for, let's say, um, if for example, if you with a guy and he's providing for you, some ladies feel like, they'll say, if he was to get sick and he can no longer provide all the stuff, some ladies feel like they shouldn't have to stay with you because you cannot give him all the things that they're looking for. But some ladies will stay with you. So it's vice versa. Guys and ladies, everybody there for a different reason. So you just have to think about it, before you decide to find a partner, someone that you want to, be with for the long run. Ask yourself, if things was to get harder in a relationship, will this person stay with me? What is the reason this person is actually with me and stuff like that. Um, what else? Yeah, it's not always gonna be. It's not always gonna be perfect. All this long-term relationship that people been in, marriage, long-term relationship, they have been issues. Yeah, they might not always say it, but everything is not always perfect. They go through ups and downs. So yeah, they might look from the outside like nothing is wrong, or nothing ever go wrong, but every relationship has some kind of issues that need to be fixed. So with that said, not don't learn to compare yourself with other people, and especially social media. People try to compare themselves with people out there. Or people, some people try to let um, give people the opportunity to have to say something about your relationship. If you put yourself out there on social media, yeah, it gives them a chance, and to feel like it's okay for them to talk about your relationship, to talk down on your partner, to talk down on you, or to say whatever the heck they want to say, because you put your stuff out there for them to have to say something about it. Um, and if I was to, before we end, what I would say though, for the ladies who been in a relationship, who feeling who feeling like they be abused in the relationship, who just feel like they are not with a right partner, want to leave. If I was to give you one advice today, should be don't learn to speak out too fast. Yeah, in your mind you want to leave this person. Don't always be like, oh, I will leave you, I will leave you. Plan stuff, and know, plan stuff, keep planning your stuff. When you're ready to leave, you don't have to tell the person that, oh, I'm going to leave you, oh, I'm leaving you. Always try to um your escape route, make sure it's safe as possible. Yeah, don't learn to always tell the person, oh, I'm going to leave you, or I'm leaving you now. Make sure that person is not around before you exit. Because I have heard or seen a lot of um, instant like this, that the lady will like, oh, I'm leaving you, or I will leave you, and it get end up getting hurt. So I would say, plan your exit, leave quietly. Um, when they are not around, just leave. Yeah, sometimes you might be tempted to come back to them, but if somebody starts something today, they started abusing today, and they tell you they're sorry, that is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So yeah, you might be tempted, because we all have feelings. We have, yeah, you might care about this person, you might want to be with this person, but if that person is abusive, that person is not going to change. Yet it might make you feel like you are the fault why they doing what they're doing to you. But don't take that. Don't feel like, oh, that person is going to change. That person loves me. Nobody should ever tell you, oh, um, I love you. That's why I'm hurting you. It don't make sense. Well, if you love the person, you wouldn't want to hurt them. So if somebody will always want to stir your brain or make you feel like you are the reason why they're doing what they're doing to you, you don't have to listen to that. You just exit quietly. Make sure you're safe. Um, make sure you're safe. You don't come back to that person, because if you come back, they're gonna continue to do the same old stuff. Because you cannot change anybody who is not willing to change. So just know that. I know for we ladies though, we have very good intuition and stuff like that, or discernment. Sometimes we know, sometimes we just overlook a whole lot of stuff because we want to be with this person. We just overlook it. But if your mind is telling you that something is off, or your intuition is telling you something is off, you just feel like something is not right, make a decision, a tough decision that going to help you. Don't just stay there, because it's not going to get better, it get worse. Yeah. So yeah, I love to hear you guys input on this discussion. What are some things you think people could change when it comes to being in a relationship? um or what are some things you think you could change? um Comment down below. And one thing I would say, when it comes to yeah, the person might have money, financial freedom. Maybe you might be with a person because you want some financial freedom, but if you are not happy in a relationship, what's the point, you know? So always be with somebody who is, you know, who you guys truly care about each other, trying to, you know, make it work. I'm not saying lower your standards, but just find a realistic goals that is going to actually be better for you and your partner, you know? Don't compare yourself with other people. I always say you never know. I said it earlier, you never know what somebody might be going through until they say it. We are all going through something at the end of the day. Yeah, we might, you know, somebody might be smiling all the time, they might look happy, but everybody going through something in life. So um just be careful how you treat somebody. Somebody might be down today, but tomorrow they might just be up. So if you don't want to be the person, that's cool, but don't just treat that person wrong, because you never know tomorrow what God has for that person. Because only God can determine our destiny. What God knows what's for us. Whatever for you, no matter how somebody try to take it away from you, if God meant that to be for you, it's going to come back. So always know that. But yeah, I love to hear you guys' input on this discussion. Thank you all always for stopping by and stuff like that, chit chatting with me. Um, I think it's very important that we're having these discussions. I think, you know, when we the more we spot the problems, the better it is to solving it, or to looking for a way to solve the issue, or to talking about it and look for better ways to solve that problem. So I think that's all I have for you guys tomorrow today. Comment down below what else you want for to talk about. If you want to have part two of this discussion as well, let me know. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. You guys been loving on the Bible voice and stuff like that, the motivational stuff. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. So really grateful to have you guys on my team. Um, I think we can all learn something. Trust me, we can all learn something. But always remember, everybody is going through something. Everything is not always going to be perfect. Somebody got something to work on. You got something to work on as well. So, but that doesn't mean you should just sit there and take abuse from somebody just because they can provide for you, or they give you, you know, shoes, purses, all this crap. Um, at the end of the day, life is precious. You should, you know, don't let anybody compromise your peace, your happiness. So, look, you know, all money is not good money. So always remember that. But anyway, I think that's it, y'all. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Um, if you have other topic you like to talk about, or if you have other suggestions for the channel, let me know. One day I'm looking forward to actually doing a, I don't know how to do that yet, like making sure, you know, I'm working on maybe finding like a guest speaker and stuff like that. We can talk. Um, and also like a podcast. This going to have a little added podcast on the side as well. And so I'm going to do the other stuff. But, you know, it takes time. Everything takes time. So little at a time. But I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. And I pray that, you know, God just send the right person in your life that is not going to, you know, make your life a living hell, that you guys can actually work together as a team. So because you deserve better, they deserve better. So the right partner always matter. I always say it's not always great to rush the process. So even if that That's like just taking your time, making sure this person is there for the right reason. Until don't rush. At the right time, you're gonna know. You won't have to overthink stuff. But it's very annoying when you are with somebody, you don't know what it is, what you guys are. Am I his girlfriend? Am I her boyfriend? What are we? That you don't have to like question those stuff. Now you know, yeah, this person is here for me. I'm here for this person. So yeah, that's it, guys. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. Bye.